this week's episode of the Como 411, where our topic is Como Progress. And our in-studio guest today is the president of Columbia Ready, Stacey Button.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, we're happy to have you here. Yeah. Okay, so we are here to talk about the airport.
Yes.
Because some people might not know, there's a new airport in town.
There is.
And Stacey, I know it was quite a process to get a new airport in town. Tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a process, that's for sure. It took, I guess, a little more than 5 years, actually, to get it off the ground. Literally. It takes a little while to get through the federal aviation process.
Oh, I'm sure.
FAA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you played a huge role in getting us to where we are. And we all appreciate, all of us who travel, we all appreciate having a place that we can fly that's much closer to home than, our options.
Yeah, absolutely. COU is certainly extremely convenient. And we're really thrilled to have all of the comforts and amenities that a real airport offers to our passengers. So
and it really feels like a real airport. So for anybody who hasn't been out there yet, go, because it really, it feels like a big city airport out there, which is very exciting.
Yeah,
it's very exciting. And a few things that I noticed as far as amenities go, there's an area for your pet.
Yes, we have an indoor pet relief area. Super fun. It has a fire hydrant in it, but and a grassy area. But passengers who travel with their four-legged friends can fly comfortably again with an indoor area that they can take their pets before they get on the plane.
And I know people who travel with their pets absolutely appreciate that.
Yep,
I'm sure. I'm sure. And then also there's this huge mural that's on the wall.
Yes.
Tell us about that mural.
Yes, exactly. That mural was painted by Jane Mudd, local artist. It's actually one of 3 art features that we have in the airport. And we were very intentional. We included artwork from a local artist like Jane Mudd, as well as a regional artist and a national artist. So we have quite a few pieces, as well as historic photos that we have on the wall as well.
I was going to ask about the historic photos, because there's something about women in aviation on the walls.
There's a fun one. Yes. There's quite a few photos that came from a personal collection of a resident here in Columbia. And so she shared those photos with us, and they depict everything from MU to the Flying Susies, and just quite a few different historic images from aviation over the years.
Amazing. And so nice to see those little pieces of Columbia history included in our airport.
Yeah, it's a very modern facility. As you mentioned, we have a lot of different amenities. We have gates now.
Yes.
We have boarding bridges. So quite a few different amenities.
So no more like walking outside, like if it's raining and you're like...
Don't have to worry about inclement weather or anything like that anymore. You can utilize the boarding bridges now to get on the plane.
That's wonderful. So. And I happen to know that what is going to happen with the building next door that used to be COU?
Oh, yes. So the old terminal. Yeah. So yes, it's been around for more than 50 years. Wow. We certainly got a good use of that building.
Yes.
We are working on repurposing that. Not something that I can divulge just yet, but we've got some great things happening there. And then we have the other building that's just south of the new terminal.
Yes.
And that's going to be our new rental car facility. So we're super excited about that, getting ready to renovate that building as well. And that'll be connected by the covered walkway.
Oh, so, a covered walk, another covered walk. I like that. I like that. So no more ducking.
Making a very large campus type feel for the airport.
That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. And one more thing that I wanted to make sure we touched on. There's a sensory area.
Yes, there is. That is one of the amenities now that we have on the secure side. And it's for individuals, families, those that might have some anxieties before they get ready to fly. It's a quiet room. We have low lighting, a lot of comfortable seating, and just opportunities for passengers just to, relax before they get on the plane.
That is wonderful. So this all sounds amazing.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you coming to talk to us about the new COU. Yeah. And hey, out there, you heard it from Stacey Button first. Fly COU. Support your local Columbia Regional Airport. Thanks for being with us, Stacey.
Thank you for that, Adonica. I appreciate it.
And speaking of Como Progress, coming up next is Crystal L., the founder of All Hair Academy. Welcome to the Como 411.
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here. Finally, Adonica. I've been dying to come down. I've been watching.
Hey.
So I'm happy to be here.
We got you.
All right.
We got you here. Crystal, for those who might not know, because some people might not be aware, tell us all about All Hair Academy.
All right. So All Hair Academy is my digital education company. I founded in 2019. And it came out of honestly having a salon here in town, knowing that I wanted to be super successful and knowing how diverse Columbia was. And for me, I knew that I wanted to know how to do all hair on all people so that I can get all the money.
Yes.
And what I learned real quickly is that is not very common. We all know, I say it all the time, the most segregated spaces are churches and hair salons.
Absolutely.
And so as a former hairstylist, you know how it would be.
I know.
And so what I learned is I was able to be successful very quickly. And I was like, okay, how can I take this and ultimately change the world? When people are like, what do you want to do? I was like, I'm going to change the world. Because I think beauty spaces have a unique job where people come together from all over and you relax and get comfortable. So I think conversations can happen. And so in 2019, I said, let's do this. So I launched All Hair Academy, where the goal is just to help create more safe and inclusive beauty spaces so that everyone feels like they belong in the spaces that they occupy, which is a human right.
I love that. And you know what I will say, because we're friends, like I remember talking to you, especially like through COVID, and you were like, I got to get this thing going. This is where I really want to be. And this is the space I want to be in. And I've had a chance to watch you go from just saying that to like doing it. And matter of fact, just recently, you just won what?
I just won Missouri Startup Weekend.
Right.
Yeah. And so for people who don't know what that is, I'm like, it's where Silicon Valley comes to Missouri to find the next big tech startup. So honestly, when I entered it, I really didn't know what it was. True story. Wendy Moore, a friend, like talked me into doing it. And then when I won, I still didn't know. And then someone was like, okay, so one of the prizes is they actually set up the company for you. And so the lawyer was like, yeah, we're going to make you a corporation. I was like, a corporation for what?
Right.
He was like, so that you can actually do this. And so actually tomorrow, Dave and I meet and we'll get everything going. And I will be a Black tech startup company founded here in Columbia, Missouri. And we will change the world.
I have no doubt that you will change the world. And your enthusiasm has always been infectious. And you are truly a believer in not keeping everything that you know to yourself, but giving back.
Absolutely. I believe that there is enough space, enough room, enough gifts, enough purpose for everybody. And there's nothing to gatekeep. I believe everything that I have is meant for me to share. Somebody shared it with me. So I think it's just my job to share with others.
Oh my goodness. So, okay. So it might be a sad question to ask, but will you be coming from behind the chair completely?
I will be. So I pretty much kind of stepped out in March of last year. I've been doing hair here and there. I've onboarded some employees, which has been awesome. But ultimately, I can't do that, be a mom, have the Bold Academy as a nonprofit, all at once. So I will be completely stepping from behind the chair. But I think that is just so that I can teach other people how to do the same. The goal is always to scale. And in order to scale, you have to take yourself out of the business. So I'll have the opportunity to, as my friend Sarah Hill said, what did she say? You were able to, oh my God, what's the word she used? Like sell something off. So not have to close it, but be able to sell it to someone else, which is a great thing.
That is exactly what you want. You want your business to be in a place where you can then give it to somebody else. I happen to know that you have trained some wonderful people who are still operating out of Crystal L. Hair and Makeup. So call Crystal L. Hair and Makeup and get your appointments. You can still do that, but pay close attention to what's happening online. Follow All Hair Academy. What's your social?
Yep. You can follow me at All Hair Academy on Instagram. You can follow me at All Hair Academy on Facebook. And yeah, I always hang out in these social media streets and I'm here to help.
Crystal is definitely always in the social media streets. I have learned lots about social media from this lady right here. Because you know, if people don't see you out there, then they don't really know what's happening with you. So that's what we exist to do in Como 411 at the Como 411 is tell the stories. We have all these wonderful businesses and tech startup companies that are coming right out of Columbia. So please follow Crystal L. All Hair Academy. Do not forget, you don't have to be a stylist to follow it. You will learn some great things. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Adonica. It's great to be here.
And coming up next is Columbia STEM Alliance. A few days ago, we had our friends Caitlin and Bill from Columbia STEM Alliance stop by the studio to do a very fun science experiment. Take a look. Science, technology, engineering, and math. What do those four subjects, STEM, along with a little bit of art, what do those subjects combine with area kids? How do those combine to create a more workforce-ready community here in Columbia? So here to walk us through an experiment and to talk to us about the Columbia STEM Alliance, we have Bill Moore and Caitlin Nichols. Welcome to the Como 411.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So Bill, tell me a little bit about the Columbia STEM Alliance.
Well, the Columbia STEM Alliance was formed with the idea that businesses, community organizations, higher education, STEM professionals could actually contribute to STEM education in our community, along with our public schools and our parents in the community.
Yes.
So that was really our starting place. So from there, we've actually built programs that we offer year-round in schools, informal settings outside of schools, clubs throughout the year.
So tell me, Caitlin, how you were involved in this project and what part you played, because I see your shirt. You got girls in STEM. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your part and what you do.
So the Columbia STEM Alliance has many different programs, and I am the program administrator for two of our programs, the STEAM series and the Girls in STEM clubs. And both of those programs are very different, but they're working towards the similar goal of building confidence in our youth and making sure that the kids walk away from their experiences with us knowing that they have what it takes.
I love that.
So my Girls in STEM program is an after-school club that meets at currently just 6 schools in the district. Hopefully we'll continue to grow. We've had a lot of interest in it. And those girls have the opportunity to meet with different community members, strong women in STEM. They come in, they speak, they share their experiences, they talk about their hurdles and their struggles, and it's been pretty phenomenal.
So we are a nonprofit organization, and so we are constantly looking at ways that we can raise funds to be able to support them, because the Girls in STEM program, teachers have to teach that. So Caitlin develops these great curriculum, that are followed at each of the clubs, and they have some outcomes that she's looking for. Teachers need to take time to learn that curriculum. They have to commit time to it. So we really need to compensate those teachers. Our administrative costs are very, very low. So we put all of our money towards those teachers. So it's really, how do we actually continue to get that funding to support those programs? Teachers that want to teach a class, they can go to our website portal and actually fill out an application. And then we'll get back to them. We'll talk to them about, what is the area of expertise that you have, and actually go through a process of deciding, is this something that's a fit, something that we can do? And we've had some great ideas from teachers. That's where all the great ideas come from.
I would imagine so. Yeah. Teachers always have great ideas. Teachers always have great ideas. If anybody doesn't know, Caitlin was 2 of my girls' teachers in elementary school. So I know good ideas come from ones who are around the little ones every day. What ages are the kids in your program?
So the Girls in STEM program is limited to 5th grade through 8th grade, but we really reach out to the community in our K through 8 programs for our STEAM series. So all year round, we offer classes. Primarily, they're pretty heavily in the summer. We have certified teachers or experts from the field that teach these classes. They're 3-hour classes, and they're just all different kinds of topics. We have recycling, composting, art, nature, fishing.
All the things.
All the things. I mean, just all the things.
All the things. Yes. I love that. So you have an experiment for us.
Yes.
And we lost Bill in the process of, we had a glove malfunction.
Yes. Gloves are important enough that if he can't have them, he can't be a part of our experiment. I say that with love.
Understood.
But yes. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure our protective eye coverings are on.
All right.
Snazzy purple goggles.
Yes.
Okay. So inside this beaker, I have potassium chloride. I'm going to heat it up with my blowtorch. Okay. So it'll take a little bit of time as we heat this up. But what we're taking is this solid, or this powder. And we're going to heat it up like lava. We want it to become molten, like super duper hot. You see it bubbling right there? So it's not going to immediately react with anything because there's nothing inside there. Since potassium chlorate is an oxidizing material, what we're going to do is we're going to drop this gummy bear, one of these gummy bears, down in there, and the potassium chlorate in its liquid molten form is going to react. It's going to immediately start oxidizing the sugars that are inside the gummy bear. And it's going to cause a pretty cool reaction. Fire.
I kind of want to drop it in there, but I'm kind of scared.
You can if you want to. So one of the reasons I picked this lab to do was because I started out in the science world absolutely terrified of everything. Absolutely terrified. But with exposure to these different kinds of experiments and different, just experiences in general, you can build up your confidence. And that's what the Columbia STEM Alliance wants to do for our kids. All of our kids can do stuff like this.
Makes sense.
They just have to get over the
Makes sense.
All right. So I think we're ready to rock and roll. Do you want to drop it in or you want me to? No? You want to do it? Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
He jumped out of there. So cool.
Actually, it's really hot.
My kids love this. It's so cool. Well, I can see why kids would be excited about doing these kinds of things. So much fun, things you don't get to do every day. But with with things that you
gummy bears.
Right.
Blow torches.
Blow torches, pull out the blowtorch. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate, we loved having you here. This was very exciting. This was our first science experiment on set.
Well, I'm glad you got to have a jumping gummy bear for
Me too. Me too. Don't forget to go online and look up the Columbia STEM Alliance so you can see how you can get involved, how you can get your kids involved, and how you might be able to help support the program. Now, wasn't that a fun experiment? The kids, don't try that at home. Just eat your gummy bears. Thank you so much to today's guests, Stacey Button from Ready, Crystal L. from All Hair Academy, and Caitlin and Bill from Columbia STEM Alliance. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode focused on Como progress, and we will see you next week, Thursday at 4:11 on the Como 411. Peace.